Hello! My name is Foxari, and today I'll be taking a critical look at the video I paid $300 to win a Sonic race by Nokai, released less than a week at the time of this recording. Before I get to the actual critiquing, I want to lay some ground rules, since I've never made a video like this before. Firstly, this is in no way an attack to Nokai at all. I'm sure they are a lovely person and simply wanted to share their experiences for an entertaining video, which is something I always encourage. Please don't take this as me trying to put them down. That is the last thing I want anyone to take away from this analysis. Additionally, I will be putting aside my subjective opinions about the video when critiquing, like humor for example. Unless harmful, I don't see a need to discuss about it here, since my taste can be very different from yours, and I'd rather stick with objective observations more than anything. The original video is linked in the description if you want to give it a look before hearing my thoughts on it. With that, let's get going! To start, here's a synopsis. Nokai plans to do a race against their friends in the game Sonic Colors Ultimate. However, before the day of the race, Nokai wanted to mod in a model of the Pokemon Celebi in the place of Sonic, purely for aesthetic purposes. They go to a website where they can commission others to modify the game for them, and unfortunately ended up being scammed by one of the modders, leaving Nokai to play the game without their desired player model. The first half of the video, more or less, is setting up the primary focus of the story after a short animated intro, with the rest of the runtime switching back and forth between finishing up the story and showing comedic stream highlights of Nokai and friends participating in the aforementioned race. This is where my primary problem arises. The video was stylistically unfocused, building up the viewer's interest with the story about being scammed, before changing the entire flow and presentation of the video to mostly unrelated clips of a livestream that wasn't the primary focus in terms of where the story was headed.
But his attempt got me thinking, what if I could get someone that has modding experience, someone that could go into the files and put whoever I wanted over this slimy pincushion. First, I had to figure out who I was modding into the game. I mean, as long as there's a model, you could throw literally anyone in here. Well, while the possibilities are endless, I didn't have to think twice.
Oh, I just died. I just got killed by an enemy. That's such a time loss.
It's been shot in Sweet Mountain. No!
Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3 of my Sonic Colors Ultimate playthrough. Today we're going to be playing Starlight
Yeah, with how
Carnival.
slow you're going, it feels like episode.
Shut up, Max.
3.
The jarring change in format left me confused and unsatisfied, as I was really enjoying how the video was unfolding before the style shakeup. The story did get an ending, but the way it was done in the second half was not easy to follow along, due to crucial information relating to the scammer and their wrongdoings being conveyed on screen briefly through Discord message screenshots, some of which in different orientations and partially covered up with others before the viewer could get a chance to pause the video and read them. I wouldn't mind if these are how the messages are introduced initially, and then we got a brief read-along or formal summary with what they said, but that's not how these messages are conveyed every time. Having multiple points where the messages appear on screen, Nokai reacting immediately after to what they are about without explaining, and then moving on forward with new information or straight back into the stream highlights.
If you haven't caught on, this guy's sense of timing is awful. I'd give him a direct estimate of how long it would be until I could accept the mod, to which he would respond favorably, only to then not follow that time frame. This was a consistent theme throughout the entire conversation, and it only gets more frustrating from here. Why is my stream lagging? Newsflash, shouldn't have trusted him. And yet another reoccurring theme. He wouldn't like one of my responses, so then he just straight up stopped responding.
I don't mean to warn you, but I'm going to a new planet.
This way of presenting vital information to the audience is oftentimes disorientating and annoying. If these parts of the video were to be background gags, foreshadowing, or unimportant references, that's more than fine with blinking and missing details. When they start to be focal points though, you lose people's retention and or interest in the shuffle. The easiest example I can compare this to is the web show Murder Drones. So many of its important storytelling in the series is blinking and missing details, which can lead to many people trying to casually watch through the series grow to be unengaged when those details take center stage. So, what is the solution? The solution here is not to have conflicting video styles take place within one video that doesn't naturally fit, as well as not having important blinking and missing details either. Do note that the first point isn't always a constant in good media creation. It is possible to have many different types of video, style, presentation, etc. work in any given media. Actually pulling it off in a satisfying way is quite difficult, and in this particular case, it did not work out the best. But something that working out doesn't have to be shamed upon or be ashamed of. Nobody's perfect after all, and understanding your downfalls is what makes you better at whatever you're trying to achieve. I hope I presented my information in this video in a friendly enough manner that doesn't make me seem like a jerkhole, but rather someone who also loves making internet videos giving advice to someone else out of passion for the medium. I see a lot of potential in Nokai and their creative works. If you are watching this, Nokai, know I am hoping all the best for you on all your future endeavors as a fellow content creator. Oh, and before I forget, for the second point to my solution, this is advice to follow to a T when making any media that you want your viewers to easily follow along in. Obviously, if you are making an ARG or something of the sort, you could ignore that bullet point. For everyone else, please take it to heart, as well as considering how a newcomer might view your media in a passive manner. One last thing to point out is the video title itself. I understand we live in an era on the internet where a clickbaity title gives anyone more of a chance of exposure as opposed to not doing so, but in this instance, it's just misleading. I don't mind misleading titles as long as it's for entertainment purposes, like the title being a joke in itself, or the title being subversive in an interesting way, but I don't like how it's done here. The title doesn't fit what I personally believe is acceptable criteria for fun or creative clickbait, since it's flat out a lie just to stand out and promptly be discarded after viewing. In fact, here is a title suggestion for this very video that I think would be both eye-catching and accurate to the contents of the video. I got scammed because of Sonic. Ellipses. Not only is the idea of being scammed by Sonic hilarious, but it is technically true, given that Nokai did get scammed because they wanted to mod a Sonic game. Now the title makes sense, while possibly being more intriguing at a passing glance, as opposed to a title that is interesting but doesn't pay off in the end. All things considered, I have no hard feelings towards a misleading video title. I've come to expect it being the norm, and it's not a great offense or anything, it just pets my peeves sometimes. I hope you,
kind viewer,
learn something new about properly conveying information, and how it can make or break someone's enjoyment of whatever media they're consuming. Clarity is key, and hopefully me explaining how it can go awry with a video most people never heard of got the message across. I hope everyone who enjoys making anything can enjoy the process of creation. Semi-related aside, I told my therapist about this video idea and she was worried that I might be bullying a child since I wasn't able to find Nokai's age anywhere. So this video is officially therapist unapproved. Do not watch it!